Good evening, YouTubers, wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is, it's evening here. We've had an exciting day today, haven't we, Fiona?
You could call it that.
We found out a new scam, and we've never had this before. Never. Apparently the scam is that someone knocks on your door and says, oh, they've lost their phone, they must have dropped it somewhere around here, and they've got another phone and they're tracking it to your house, and the phone appears to be in your house, and you must let me in to look for my phone. And I just said, no, I haven't seen your phone, goodbye, clunk. But you see, the difference between our house and most people's houses is our neighbourhoods have got double iron gates on the front of the house. They've got bolts, top, bottom and a big lock. So you can open the front door and you can speak to people through the bars, and they can't get in. And if you just say, no, not interested, slam. That's it, they have to go away. And we had this and this.
If Ben remembers to lock the gate, which he will after today.
Yeah, Ben's always lazy.
Poor kid come home and there's like 3 police cars outside the house. He parks up, he's like, what the fuck? He opens the front door and he said, police aren't normally in this neighbourhood, what's going on? I said, I fucking called them.
They overtook him. He's on his motorbike coming down the road.
Really?
And the 3 police cars, 1 unmarked and 2 marked Policia Nacional, and whizzing past, and they've come to our house.
Oh, they were wonderful, wonderful.
What these scammers did, they went away the first time and they were hanging about, and there was about 6 women. What sort of age would you put them at? 20s, 30s?
Well, there was the older woman with ginger hair, and they were swapping clothes.
Yeah,
they had a red jacket, a green jacket.
Well, we've got cameras all over our house,
God.
so we've got loads of footage of it.
Shall we start from the beginning?
Yes.
Right, so when we got up, I went up on the top garden roof, and I could see these women in the streets, and I just thought nothing of it. I just thought, they're just women chatting. And but then one of the woman with the ginger hair she shouted, and I thought she was shouting at me. But then I thought, oh no, I think she's shouting at someone else up the street. So I thought, oh, I'll leave her to it. Then the doorbell went, and Graham answered it.
I did, because Fiona wasn't around. I thought, oh,
I was upstairs.
might be an Amazon delivery or something, because we were always getting stuff off Amazon. My Rules of Cotton arrived today, and I'm trying to read my book and see how the thread, the sewing machine, but that's another story. Forget that one. Carry on.
Well, you answered the door, and this girl was saying she'd lost her phone in our street.
But she had her phone in her hand.
She said she lost it up the road. She said it fell. That's what I didn't understand. She said it fell out of my pocket up the road. I thought, if it fell out of your pocket, why didn't you pick it up? Either that, or how did you know if you didn't know? If you knew, you'd pick it up. If you don't know, you don't know. Anyway, so she, Graham just wasn't for talking to her, and he just said no Spanish. So she spoke in English, and she repeated herself. By this time, I'd come down. I was onto the landing. And
I'm a scouser, you see. I know, you know, I can spot a scam when I see it, and I just said, no, I haven't got your phone. Don't know anything about it. Goodbye. Clunk.
You were so right. You were so right, because I was on the landing and I was being nice and saying, have you tried phoning it? And I was going to try and help her, maybe even invite her in. And Graham just went, no, slam. That's it. He said, I don't want to know. And he sat back down, and then it must have been an hour or 2 hours later.
You could hear him shouting in the street, couldn't you?
Yeah, we were watching a video, and this woman was shouting in the street, and I thought I was going to pause the video and think, well, I'll wait for it to finish. I can't hear it. And then we were expecting Ben to come home from work, and we hear the gate when he puts his key in the gate. Yeah. And I heard the gate. I said, oh, that'll be Benji. And I got up, and then the gate was making a bigger noise, like bang, 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 bang. And I thought, whoa, this is not Ben. Yeah. And I looked through the spy cam, and I saw all this gang of women. And the front, they were in their 40s, 30s and 20s. There were 2 black women who were kind of dressed, sort of, I hate to be rude, like prostitutes. Lots of gold, mini skirts, low cut. And they were doing this thing. You know, like that. Very, very slangy.
I've seen that before.
And I thought, not sure I like this. And you'll see, should splice the video.
I've got the footage. I'm going to drop it all in so you can see as the
And it was the girl again who said she'd lost her phone. But she's the little girl at the front that's shouting at me, that's rattling the gate, saying, she says, My phone is in your house. You have to let me in. Let me in now. And I went, no. And she went, yes. I went, no, yes. And I shut the door and I dialed 911. And she carried on banging and banging and banging and shouting. But the girl standing behind her, who's keeping Dixie, looking up and down the street, checking for police, she's the one who knocked the door before and spoke to you. And she had a phone in her hand. She must have bought a new phone that quick. Oh, well.
Anyway, she rang the police.
I rang the police. I thought, I'm not wasting time struggling in Spanish. I just said, do you speak English? He said, yes. What's the problem? I said, this crazy lady's trying to break into our house. She says, we've stolen her phone. She says her phone is on our house. He said, do you know her? I said, I've never seen her before in my life. And I said, she's with a group. There's about 6 women. Anyway, he said, I'm not going to waste time. I'm going to put the phone down on you now. I'm calling the police. Give me your address. So I gave him the first line of our address and he said, I can see you're in La Línea de la Concepción. They're coming now. They're coming now. So he said, this is just to save time. If there's any further developments, ring 911 again. So I put the phone down and I'm shaking. And then I heard him out the back. She says, I'm on the roof. I'm on the roof. We're coming in the back. I thought, oh my God, they're coming in the back.
They can't come in the back. See, the house has got big high walls all the way around. So the only way you're getting over the wall is if you've got an enormous ladder.
Which they had. They had brought a fucking ladder.
So she's back on the phone.
I said to Graham, oh my God, they're coming in the back. So I'm locking all the doors here, which involves running around, locking all the doors. I'm back on the 911. I said, oh my God, she's coming in the fucking back now. They've got a ladder. They must have a ladder because it's such a high wall. Well, I was on the phone to him and then I heard a car and I looked and I said, oh, thank God, police are here. They must have got here in like 3 minutes.
3 police cars, 1 unmarked, big disco, and two marked cars. And they just went straight round the back and they just went, oi!
They got them straight away. They had them cornered in the field.
Brilliant. The police here are fantastic.
Well,
really.
Yes, they were very kind. They came in, came into the house. Graham showed them all we've got loads of camera footage from all the different camera angles.
I didn't need to tell him what happened. I just played the video.
Oh my God.
Okay, and he recorded it with his phone. He was like, okay, because I couldn't really understand what she was saying in the Spanish. Because I speak a bit of Spanish, but not that much. Yeah. Not enough, but obviously he did. But he spoke English.
He spoke a little English and I spoke a little Spanish. And between us, we established... And he copied some of the video and he took pictures of the girl's face and he went round the back and his other officers had apprehended the group. And anyway, he went away. So I locked the gate. And like 1 minute later, I heard the gate. I thought, oh my God. And it was Ben.
Yeah.
And Benji said, well, how come there's all the police cars outside the house? I said, oh my God, we've just had an attempted home invasion. He went, you're fucking joking. I said, I am not.
2 old people in the house on their own. So they're in for a fucking big shock if they try breaking in here.
I'm going to that, I'm sure you can imagine. So then Benji said to me, come on, Mum, we'll go up on the roof and we'll watch when all our fucking neighbours are out on their roofs and they're all looking and they're going, are you all right? Are you all right? What's going on? I was like, oh my God. And the police gave them a warning. They didn't arrest them because they gave them this cock and bull story about the missing phone. And then they said to the police, oh, look at that. The phone's just updated its location. It's nowhere near this house. Oh, we're so sorry.
It's a few streets away.
So the police let them go. And I watched and there was a man and he was in charge. He was the leader of the gang.
Fagin.
He was there with the woman with the ginger hair who kept changing her coats.
Yeah.
And his body language was very much, come away, this is on top. We can't, these people are calling the police too quick. Now, the other part of this is that it's pretty fucking obvious from certain social media activity that this was arranged by our stalkers. Ha ha! Call them sugars. Call them Meghan supporters, get crazy people like Diane Durham. Not that I'm saying Diane is anything to do with this, but people like her who threatened to bomb Buckingham Palace, yada, yada, yada. And here we are. And to me, Graham, honest to God, I'm not going to sleep tonight because for me, this is Ashley all over. Anyone who remembers Danger Zone.
You did have an interview with Thomas Markle the other day.
Oh, I know, and that was an absolute unmitigated disaster, and I cannot apologise enough, everybody. I just can't. And I'm going to do another video, because I think I made things a million times worse for Thomas. I made things a million times worse for Our Recollections May Vary. I pissed literally everyone off. I've left the comments open. I've liked and loved every single comment that were... none of them were hateful. None of them were trolling. They were just you guys expressing your extreme disappointment, confusion, or what the fuck was she thinking? And I agree, what the fuck was I thinking? And I'll cover that tomorrow in a video tomorrow.
To be fair, you had a few vinos though. It was quite late, wasn't it?
Well, I hadn't actually at that point. I'd had vinos the night before, and I'd been awake.
Right, okay.
I'd been awake all night until it was at 4.
I'd gone to bed. It was daylight in California, wherever he is. I don't know where he is.
I don't know where he is, but it's a big time difference.
Yeah.
So I was extremely tired. I mean, I was on the verge of a stroke, and he was clearly uncomfortable, and a whole host of other things. And I'll cover a whole video in that. But Graham and I have both had insomnia, quite badly.
Yeah.
For the last week, because we've been on a roller coaster.
Medical issues. You know, I've had quite a bad week. I'm all right now, but I had quite a bad week.
Yeah.
So you have ups and downs with this, and so I'm back up now. So
I mean, thankfully, we don't go to sleep till about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. Isn't that lucky? Seeing as we've got home invaders.
Yeah. Well.
And I've also been doing some research with someone who's super special. Not a YouTuber, but one of our community. We're doing some research into something else to try and get some answers behind what exactly happened with the Markles and the palace. And I think we're onto something. We're going down a pretty deep rabbit hole, which I will be coming back with. So, but I mean, in the meantime, I might do that at night.
The plot thickens, and we watched Dan Wootton today.
Oh my God, Lady C and Dan Wootton.
And that was quite revealing.
Very. And brilliant. She is brilliant.
It's well worth watching. It's all to do with the pregnancy and the line.
She is so clever, Lady C.
They're convinced, Dan Wootton and Lady C are convinced that King Charles is about to strike the children off the line of succession. And according to Dan Wootton and his programme. I've just seen it on the internet, that's it. We've got no other information.
I pray to God that Lady C is okay, because I feel she might be vulnerable to this type of thing, because this attempted home invasion today, and it doesn't look that much on the video, the little bit of video we're going to make public. We're not making the rest of it public yet, but she's vulnerable, and I think of Ashley, because I remember Ashley saying, for those of you who don't know who Ashley Danger Zone is, I'll ask Graham if you can put a link in the description, and I think this will go on my channel as well.
Okay.
Ashley was the first YouTuber that I was aware of who talked about Meghan, and then Ashley said, the Sugars have been bragging that they know where I live and they're going to set fire to me. This is my recollection. And then the next week she said, I'm a bit worried because they've been tweeting and I think they know where I live. And the next week her house was caught fire. And then her mother's house was caught fire. And her pet burned alive. Chewy was actually a possum, not a dog. Her dog ran away and she never saw it again.
But nobody could have found her because she was completely anonymous, unless she had royal connections.
She didn't even show her face.
What do they call it? The
IPP status, I think.
IPP status. Yeah. But you can just find people like
that.
But
of course you don't need IPP status.
I don't know how you can track people down like that. I don't know.
You don't need IPP status to find us, Graham. We're quite open.
We're quite open where we are,
I mean,
I've always been a big lad. I've always been able to look after myself. Even if I'm a bit ill, don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
Oh my God.
I've got to look after her, haven't I?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Anyway, that was all good fun. Anything else new? Oh, I was quite shocked at Trump's up tomorrow, isn't he, for his thing? But
yeah.
What shocked me was this Gaza ceasefire. I mean, I'm all in favour of a ceasefire. I don't like to see people getting killed and what have you. But they were exchanging hostages, and Hamas released 3 Israeli hostages. But Israel have got to release 30 Palestinians for every one person. So Israel, I haven't watched the news, but Israel are due to hand over 90 Palestinians for 3 Israelis, and that doesn't seem right to me, not at all. That's totally shocking, but that's just my opinion. What do you think?
You don't know what
it's such a complicated mess, it is, and I'm not even going to start to get embroiled in it. for sure. But that's what we've been watching today.
But you don't know what diplomats have had to work their way through, and it will be something intricate and complicated. Which brings me to our rabbit hole. Oh boy, you are going to fucking love the rabbit hole. Actually, I will say a name that me and Rhea Snakespeare have been going down. We have been having such good fun up until today, of course. In fact, I forgot to tell her about all this. This will all come as a shock to her. This will be the first she's heard of it. So
I'll give you something to do later.
I've been on the phone.
While I'm editing this video.
Anyway, yeah, see you maybe tomorrow, guys. I don't know because, as Graham said, his health has been. We've been on a roller coaster the last week.
Yeah. You have
health-wise.
days, but some days I just lay on the sofa and watch telly. Other days I'm bouncing and jumping about and doing things and getting on with stuff. And I've got 2 sewing machines now. I've got one that's seized up that I've got to restore, much to my darling's amusement.
Yes, brilliant. You'll never catch me dead using one of them again. Not since St Mary's Hall.
Mine will run like a Swiss watch. You watch.
Excellent, and I look forward to seeing you run up a penny for yourself. I really do.
Good night, and may your God go with you.
Aquí sale el teléfono, llama a la policía. ¿Cómo? ¿Esta va a tener que sacar el teléfono? Vamos. Aquí sale que te has robado un teléfono. Mío. Sí, aquí.
No.
Sí.
No.
Sí.
¿Qué teléfono es? ¿Te lo he dicho? No. Espérate, que me voy a enseñar la imagen. O deja... Sí, no, de atrás. Si quieres, ah, vale, para la alarma, ¿no? Venga.
Storyline of a lost phone. That's what these scammers are using. They're also saying that a GPS tracking device just like this one right here is tracking the phone inside of your home, and they're hoping you will let them inside to find it. For Chris Reap, he worries about his parents when it comes to this scam.
I could definitely see them potentially, no problem, I'll call and we'll help you out, man, no problem. I'll be more willing to help out. Absolutely, I could see that.
And the rest of the senior community here in Pinellas Park.
And our senior citizen is very vulnerable to helping and being willing just to help, even if it's a small task.